Concord is Sony's new hero shooter for PC and PS5. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips for your time playing Concord. My first tip is going to be for Itzy. Itzy is an assassin type character that uses a fast firing SMG and teleportation to quickly enter and exit combat. While Itzy is great at distracting enemies, some people are having some trouble securing kills with her. Itzy's Scramble Rebound ability has you throwing an orb that when hitting an enemy will disrupt their weapon and begin to bounce back to you. When you catch the orb, you supercharge Itzy's weapon. But did you also know that when you pick up the returning orb, it gives you a free reload? To utilize this most effectively, start combat by throwing your orb and immediately opening fire. Don't stop until they're dead. You won't need to reload. This way, you can have more ammo for your fight and be fighting an opponent who can't effectively fight back. Just make sure you're taking fights where you will not be focused by multiple people at once. Amari is one of the strongest characters in the game in my opinion. A large health pool, healthy shield, and high damage Gatling gun make her a threat at all times despite her huge size and slow movement speed. With Amari's shield, remember that you can absorb it to give yourself temporary armor. Punish enemies shooting your shield by surprising them during a reload with extra health and a Gatling gun in their face. Amari's armor generator ability can help your team by giving them extra armor for fights. One tip with this ability is to make sure you hold the ability. People get more shield the longer they're in your aura, so by holding it out for longer, you are giving your teammates more armor. Lennox is one of the most played characters, mainly due to his self-heal ability that lets him be far more aggressive than most of the other characters in the game. Lennox has two pistols he can use. His starting pistol is his strongest, doing the most damage and having the farthest range. His other pistol has more ammo, but lower damage and range. The tip for Lennox is to utilize his passive more in combat. When you run out of ammo in your primary pistol, swapping to the other will reload it after a set amount of time. Use this to finish enemies quickly and then swap back to your stronger pistol with all of its ammo back. The timing on this ability is a little bit finicky, be warned, but it can be very helpful in keeping you active in fights and minimizing the time you spend reloading. Before I get into my next tip, I want to explain the crew bonus system for those who don't already know how it works. Every free gunner in Concord is part of one of the 6 current classes in the game. Each class has a set passive skill that activates after you die with the free gunner or finish the round. For example, Haymar is a warden and their passive is increased weapon range. After finishing a round or dying in a respawn mode as Haymar, you will have that passive enabled. Now, every future free gunner you play for the remainder of the game will have longer weapon range. You can earn all 6 of these passives throughout a game if you swap to free gunners in different classes after every death. By using this system properly, you will be faster, more accurate, and more deadly by the end of matches. Kips is a stealthy assassin character who uses a silenced burst pistol. Unfortunately, the pistol's damage seems to be kind of underwhelming compared to some of the other characters and their weapons. The tip for her is to make sure you are utilizing crew bonuses before playing her. Specifically, the crew bonus from wardens like Haymar, which give you longer weapon range. With more range, you will find Kip's burst pistol does significantly more damage and becomes far more viable. If you want more Concord content like this, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. There is no better way of telling me you want more of this kind of content than by doing that. Also, my Twitch is linked in the description. I've been streaming the gameplay you see in this video there. If you have any questions about these tips or anything else Concord related, feel free to tune into my stream and ask me there. Roka uses her rocket and boosters to be an aerial menace to everyone fighting below her. With 3 jumps, an ability that lets her hover in the air, and an air dodge, Roka is unrivaled in the air. Unfortunately, this often makes her an easy target to spot and hit. The key to playing Roka is to take fights where you're the one firing first. Roka's hover thrusters let you stay still in the air, but did you know they also speed up your ADS lock-on time? If you didn't know, when Roka aims down her sight, she begins to lock on to any enemy she's looking at. If you do this while using your hover thrusters, your lock-on is significantly faster. When I'm playing Roka, I try to start fights already hovering in the air, then quickly locking on, and afterwards dropping to be as hard as hit as I can while firing as much as I can before I lose the lock-on. This can often result in a ton of damage and, if not a kill, very quickly. For Devere's, this tip is short and simple. Devere's ignition dart is very strong and should be used more than you probably are using it. It will explode burnite pools from your primary fire or canister ability, but can also be used as a direct hit on enemies. Use this ability to finish off enemies instead of reloading if the opportunity arises. My last tip is for Vale. Like Kips, Vale has been seen as underwhelming due to using a bolt action sniper that doesn't one-shot kill. My tip for her is actually the same as Kips. Save her for later in a match when you have more crew bonuses enabled. Specifically for Vale, I find the movement speed buff from the Haunt class and the faster reload speed from the Tactician class to be the most helpful. With these two buffs, Vale can quickly move in and out of combat and fire more shots. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found some of these tips helpful.